anybody can do anything they set their mind to. If you like really want to do it, it depends on how bad you want it, and I wanted to do it. And I felt like, you know, at this stage of my life, I don't feel like there's too much that I can't do. I don't mean to sound cocky or nothing, but if I like really, really want to do it, I don't give up. I wanted to make it, and I was going to make it regardless of what anybody said. There was certainly like a rebellious, like youthful rage kind of in me. And there was also, you know, the fact of the no getting away from fact that I am white, you know, and this is predominantly black music, you know, and people telling me you don't belong, like you're not gonna succeed because you're this color. Then you want to show those people that, you know, that you can and you will. I love music so much, man. This is my passion. Rap is just, you know, it's everything to me. I feel like, you know, I really believe in freedom of speech. I can't even stress that enough. I feel like, especially artistic expression, you know, I believe an artist should be an artist and be able to say whatever he wants to say, whether you think it's good or bad, you know. This is my world. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I do. I was reserved and I was shy and I was scared to like had it in me, but, you know, wasn't quite sure how to bring it out yet in a I don't know, in a positive way, I guess, and show people. Like, I really felt like I wanted people to hear me so bad, and I wanted to do my bit, but it was like, you know, them jitters and them, I'm scared, I'm not scared. You know, that whole struggle and everything, especially early on for me, you know, which I love being on stage and stuff like that. Once I got a mic, I was cool, but it was that prompted me to do it and get up there and not be scared to grab that and just rock. Well, I came up through the hip-hop scene, the local hip-hop scene in Detroit. You know, everything back then was just about battling. I mean, if you wanted to make a name for yourself, the battle scene was also, it was so huge. I mean, there was battles every couple months where, you know, anybody who was anybody was trying to make a name for themselves would come out. I would have written lines, I would have punchlines, you know, that I'd be prepared to say at any time, and I would kind of figure out, kind of on the spot, like what punchlines I would pick and choose for this person that was in my face, but also be able to mix freestyle in with it. That would be the basic formula I would follow, is have my punchlines ready to go, you know, but also be able to say something spontaneous too. I grabbed the mic, like in front of actual people that mattered, you know what I'm saying? Like at a club, I got booed. I remember that. It was very traumatic for me. And I think I had, at that point, like the 8 Mile thing was kind of, that's what I was taken from or whatever. And I think I went home like, man, I quit. Right. And then, you know, maybe a couple days later, a week later, I got the urge to like, nah, man, I gotta get up, gotta do it again. I think one of my greatest inspirations or things that I would feed off of basically was just obviously people not believing in the cloud of doubt that kind of I felt hung over my head and wanted to just prove everybody wrong. I finally found something that, yeah, this kid over here, you know, he may have more chicks, like he may have better clothes or whatever, but he can't do this like me. You know what I mean? He can't write what I'm writing right now. And it started to feel like, you know, maybe Marshall's getting a little respect. My dream was for like, to be able to one day, like hear rappers that I looked up to on the radio and be like, yo, what if Jay-Z, whoever, what if they heard of me? What if they thought I was dope? You know what I'm saying? Like that was where my mentality always was with it. A character that I've created on this record, I don't think it's no different than, at least I don't feel like it's any different than a character in a movie, you know, like, or South Park, what they do in South Park, Family Guy. Like, I don't feel like it's not much different than that. At the end of the day, I'm an artist, and this is my art. You know what I mean? Like, as fucked up as it may seem, or people may think it is, or as ridiculous as these thoughts may be, I think that, you know, I'm an artist, and it's kind of like almost just making a painting. And if the painting is
fucked up, it's fucked up. But this is how I was feeling.
I think that my goal has changed in the sense of, you know, from this, I rap from the same aspect of when I was a kid. Like, I just wanted to get the respect. I just wanted to get a reaction out of people. I just wanted to be heard. And I wanted people to respect what I do and respect the fact that I respect the craft. You know what I mean? Of MCing. So I really just it's pretty much the same thing today.
I just got evicted from my house. Had to break in through the back of the house. The dude that we was paying rent to, he wasn't paying the rent with it. So one day this is literally the day before I go to the Rap Olympics and thank God for Wendy Day, man, because she paid for my plane ticket. But that day, we're like, what the I come home from work, me and my boy, and we're like, what the fuck, all our shit is on the lawn. So I had to break into the house through the back window, which was my old window. Broke in, slept on the floor, got up the next day, went to the Rap Olympics, and by the first prize was $500. And I needed that $500, man, and I lost. And I was fucking devastated. And then this kid, Dean Geislinger, walks up to me and he's like, yo, man, you got one of those CDs? And I was like, yeah. And I kind of just tossed it to him, right? And didn't think nothing of it. I didn't know that Dean worked with Jimmy Iovine. Mm-hmm. So he gave it to Jimmy. Jimmy gave it to Dre. And I'm back in Detroit now. Fuck. And I get the call and I'm like, oh shit. You know, this is about to happen. I would change schools 2-3 times a year, and that was probably the roughest part. There was a lot of instances. Beat up in the bathroom, beat up in the hallways, shoved in the lockers, you know, just for the most part, man, you know, just being the new kid. Every time there's a new issue or something that comes up that needs to be addressed, that's how I explain it through my music and express myself through my music. I'm certainly blessed to be in the position that I'm in, but, you know, and to have a career as long as I've had. But there's something about those days that was special. You know, it was that time period, just being young and just not knowing what exactly was going to happen and kind of the thrill of the chase. It almost made it fun, you know. A week home, I started taking Vicodin again and still trying to I think at that point in time, I still felt like I was kind of I can juggle this, I can do this, I can take it, you know, today and maybe tomorrow I won't. When I was doing the 8 Mile movie and that's when I kind of first got introduced to Ambien and the schedule that we were on, we were working 16-hour days. Mm-hmm. And we'd have this little 6-hour window to go home and go to sleep. And it was an hour drive from the set and an hour drive back. So what's that mean? I have 4 hours to get some sleep. So I got introduced to Ambien on the set of 8 Mile, and I got into the habit of taking it every single night. By the time the movie was wrapped, went on tour. Now I need it every night after a show. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then it got to where I became dependent on the sleep medications. And then it was it's a real blurry line, if I actually had a problem with alcohol or I didn't. And I think that if I never had drugs if I never had pills to fall back on, I would have had a full-blown, I'd have been a full-blown alcoholic. When I ended up in rehab, I had to while I was in there, I really had to reassess, go back and just evaluate and just reassess things and slow down. Kind of, the Detroit mentality we're kind of the underdog. I feel like we've always been the underdog, and that's kind of how, I've always taken that, kept that with me. You know what I'm saying? That I want to say fighting spirit that Detroit has. Because Detroit, is so resilient. I feel like our people there, we have this, kind of Detroit versus everybody mentality. Because I feel like people, the way that people look at us, they always count us out. You know what I'm saying? So I know that that attitude is displayed a lot in my music, but I think that that's where it comes from, is just from, you know, just feeling like we're being counted out. Don't be afraid to try whatever, even if the idea in the beginning is stupid.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of ideas in beginning stages, not mine, of course, mine are just insane from the moment I think of them. Of
course.
But sometimes ideas, you know, they're not always the greatest.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you know.
Don't be afraid to fail, basically, to get somewhere else, to get on the journey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you say one thing that's going to spark another thing to lead to a better thought,
yeah,
always right, you know, and I probably always will. I don't know at what point, you know, whatever point I decide, like, I'm going to put the mic down or whatever happens with that, I do feel like I always want something to do with the music. So whether it's producing or whatever, you know, ends up happening, I think that I just want something to do with it, you know. Music is always going to be in my head, so.
Like, I'm not going to front. Like, sometimes it gets hard to try to balance them out, but I'm a father before I'm a rapper. So, you know, my daughter comes first no matter what, and if there's important things going on in her life that I need to be there for, then I'll drop what I'm doing.